City of Portland. From Edmond, Oklahoma, Tony Westlake, first shot. And as Brian Voss said, into the 1-3 pocket, we'll have some excitement today. Strike for Tony Westlake. Now the Triple Crown winner, the 87 Firestone, the 88 United States Open, the 89 PBA National, Pete Weber. Game is on, Nelson.
I agree, Chris. We've seen that all week long. The players have averaged well over 230 on the championship pair, and it's just been a fabulous week. Hopefully, maybe we can even see somebody to threaten a 300 game. The pocket's easy to hit, and the pin carry is sensational.
Weber going for a double. Match play lost only to Mark Baker, whom you'll see later. He had a record of 16, 7, and 1. Now Westlake won 16 and lost 8 in match play to tie the match. Well, now we have 4 shots, 4 strikes. We're at the Oregon Open.
Westlake with the 5-step delivery, very low push away, just shoulder-high backswing. Really a nice position on his pivot step. Drives through the foul line, raises up just a little bit, but he has the great follow-through and obviously one of the great clutch players on the tour, going for 3 in a row.
Hitting a 4-pin, the 31-year-old professional Tony Westlake, who led after Thursday's rounds here at the Hollywood Bowl. Last time we were here was in 1982. It was called Timberland at the time. New ownership, Mark Frank, and renamed to the Hollywood Bowl as we're in the Hollywood section of Portland. So now, Pete Weber, who opened with a double, will be shooting in the 3rd frame. 27 years old. Youngest pro to win 10 tournaments. He was only 24, accomplishing that feat. Asking now for a re-rack from tournament director Harry Golden.
The style of Pete Weber, 5-step delivery, the very high backswing. As he takes through his steps, he'll take the first 3 steps, and then he'll hit the top of his backswing. See how high his backswing is? He's all the way up here and drives down through the pivot area. Once again, a 3rd consecutive strike. And Chris, he's waiting for the ball better than I've seen him in about a year and a half. And I mean, he's not jumping at it, he's just letting that ball roll off that hand.
So for Pete Weber, we have 4 in a row, taking a 21-pin lead over Tony Westlake. We'll be back in Portland.
Keep the fire from coming back.
Tinactin puts the fire out for good.
In Oklahoma Sooner red, Tony Westlake from Edmond, just outside Oklahoma City. Spare up. Going 4 frames, 3 strikes. Tony Westlake, what qualities are necessary for a player to make the transition from amateur to pro?
Well, obviously, the first thing you have to have is a lot of talent. But I think the most important thing you need is either enough of your own money for a couple of years or a sponsor that'll keep you out here for a couple of years, because there's so much to learn. I thought I was a good bowler, and I came out on tour, and I've learned so much. I couldn't even put it in words how much I learned.
The unflappable Sooner, Tony Westlake, quiet but effective.
See the great pin action. Every strike that has been light or solid has carried. The only hit that wasn't carried was the high 4-pin by Westlake in the 3rd frame. Weber, 4 in a row.
10-pin on the right lane. There you saw the result of competitive spirit coming out in Pete. He lets his emotions be known.
Solid 10.
Cross lane. Pete Weber, 2 weeks ago in the Los Angeles Times, it was stated that he would not last in the 90s. We asked him about that.
Well, for one, I'm not over the hill. I'm only 27, but I'm back, I'm here, and I will be a player of the 90s.
And obviously, Peter is sharp as ever. As I see his arm swing's good again, his release is great.
Pete jumping up and down, and the wobbly 7 stands.
Pete Weber taking no time at all. 1 ball for strike shot and another ball for spares. Quickly up on the approach, the 7-pin.
This proves that Pete is accurate. He hits them even when they're moving or wobbling.
Well, you don't have to wait till a pin comes to a standstill before you can roll. Sometimes the machines set them down, they're still wobbling. I don't know if it's good or bad to throw at a wobbling pin, but obviously it's not against the rules.
And with that, Tony Westlake has a 1-pin lead in a tight and near-perfect first game.
Well, this is what we expected all day long. I'm sure we'll see more of it. And just all experienced veterans out there. Westlake, with just 5 years on the tour, has the least amount of experience. And none of these players take much time. This could be the shortest telecast in history.
Tony Westlake, who was second this year at the Firestone Tournament of Champions, his 5th TV appearance. For Weber, it's his 2nd. More following this.
City. It's all next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Yes, multifaceted Wide World of Sports following us. You see, get an idea of the size of the crowd. Standing room only here for the Oregon Open. PBA Tour has not stopped here since 1982. We were here to televise the event, which this man won, Pete Weber. We're in the City of Roses. That's them all on a high hit, striking at 7, 148 to 6. Let's go to Nelson Burton.
Thank you, Chris. Brian Voss, you're going to bowl the winner of this game. And what's your thoughts going into a game where it looks like you probably have to shoot 250 to even survive?
Well, you know, you got to take it one frame at a time. Well, there's a lot of good scores out there, a lot of strikes, and who knows, maybe we'll give away one of those checks today.
All right, he's talking about one of those 300 checks. So, Chris, it's going to be an exciting second match. Back to you.
All right. Pete Weber now requesting a re-rack. It was not granted. Noticeably upset. Now taking his time to cool out a bit. And the 9-pin. Though Pete had requested another re-rack on the left lane. Denied.
Well, obviously he had a wide open pocket and cut right through there and left a solid 9. Unfortunate, but that happens. You know, Chris, when you have good scoring environment, you have the players, they're a lot looser. You can see how relaxed they are. They're taking a little more time. And watch this shot here as the ball cuts through the 1, 3, and actually cuts the 5 and 8 off, leaving the 9-pin back there in the back row. See, it cuts, the ball should have carried out that 9.
And now Tony Westlake with that 4-bagger has increased his lead over Pete Weber by 21 pins.
And once again, embellishing that point before, when their players are this loose, they're taking their time. It's almost like practice. They know they're going to hit the pocket. Give a player 2 or 3 boards at this level. It's just a matter of carrying the pins. And you're going to get more taps when you never miss the pocket. Every ball's around there. Now with a chance to bowl a 279 game, increase his lead to 31 pins. Westlake, 9th frame.
So left only a 4-pin in the 3rd frame of this very first game against Pete Weber, the winner to meet Brian Voss, then Mark Baker, then the tournament leader Steve Wonderlake. 9th frame, Weber. Pete's still visibly upset.
Well, the solid 9 shook him up a little bit. He needed that strike. It actually cost him 20 pins, the difference between carrying that and not carrying. As you see the 6 pin doing a job on the 10 in the right-hand corner. Weber a possible 248, 10th frame.
This is a man with fierce pride.
The 12th man in the huddle, the 11th pin in the rack. Where'd this pin come from? The head pin comes off the sideboard, wipes out the 10, the messenger shot. Weber still an outside chance to win if he can shoot 48.
They're stringing 3, but he's giving the gesture that, hey, it's not enough.
Well, he's forced Tony Westlake to mark in the 10th. Westlake going at a 250 pace will need a mark in the 10th frame to win this match.
Look at that. A big 248. Westlake at this point leading by 11 at strung 4.
Sometimes the hardest thing to get is a mark. You forget about trying to throw strikes and get a little protective. Let's see what Westlake does here. Any mark will win the match.
And there it is. That was the mark he needed. Tony Westlake shooting big numbers. So did Weber, who fired at 248. We'll have the final score as ABC Sports presentation of Professional Bowlers Spring Tour will be back after these messages and a word from our local station.